Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week of Pitch Perfect. Today it's just us again. A chill little episode, as we have. I guess every other week we do these where it's just kind of us. So of course it's me, Elaine, talking, and I'm sitting here with Kiki. How are you doing, Kiki?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing okay. I kind of stayed out too late last night unintentionally, forgetting that we were doing this in the morning. So I'm recently awake.
Wait.
You know.
Where were you last night? I mean, you don't have to tell them.
I mean, it's fine. It's nothing like too scandalous or anything. No, I was just like playing some One Piece with a friend. Just like we kind of do this like after work kind of situation because we both work late hours during the middle of the week. So we were just like playing some games and it was fun. And then like partway through I'm like, oh wait, we're recording tomorrow, that's right. And then I'm like, I can play a few more. And then as I was getting home I was like, oh heck, I need to like edit the last video's bio and upload it and stuff, and just ended up being up much later than I intended.
Yeah.
Which isn't a surprise to most people, but like I wanted to go to sleep before 3 a.m.
We both went to we both went to sleep at like 4 a.m. and both just woke up. What if we just like took a nap on today's episode? I guess that wouldn't be a very good listening experience.
No, and also that's an awful idea for me to have like gone to sleep for like 4.5 hours, wake up just to be on camera to then go back to sleep. Like I feel like it would have been more productive to just sleep the whole way through.
Yeah.
The impressive thing is we do also have like a 6-hour time difference between us. So when you say we both went to sleep at 4 a.m., like that means different things to us in our daily lives, but also we're still somehow awake at the same time.
Yeah, we still somehow like both just woke up and are sleep deprived. So also, there's definitely more than we say 6-hour time difference. It's an 18-hour time difference, but it's yeah. Just because you ignore the 12. It just
we just ignore the fact that I'm actually a day ahead.
Yeah, we just ignore that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But this is kind of where we're at right now. There's nothing really planned for today's episode. We're just kind of chatting.
You know what I realized too, right before we jumped on the call, because I was like, okay, Kiki and I are recording. We kind of, every time it's just the two of us, we just show up on vibes and don't really plan anything, which means that we always forget to put out a listener questions post. Like we always do it for our guests, but I guess people maybe want to ask us questions too. They probably don't, but maybe they do.
Yeah, I mean, like if there was like something relevant coming out, I guess,
Yeah.
Like if say it was like closer to high seas, whatever, like listener questions might be like, what do you think is going to be in the set? Which admittedly we've answered on like now 2 different episodes.
Yeah.
Like one where it's just us, and then one with like Liv, which you should watch if you haven't already.
It's out.
Yeah.
It's out. It was a really fun
out.
episode. I was thinking when I was so I was up until like 4 a.m. Playing Flesh and Blood, which we can talk about when we get to the part where we talk about our weeks in Flesh and Blood. But and then I was texting you at like 4 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to sleep. And then like 2 hours later, I don't know, I woke up and then I fell back asleep, and then I woke up again. My neighbors were doing construction, and then I fell back asleep, and then I got up that time for a while because I did all of this. Actually, wait, we rebranded. We look a little different. We look a little new. That will come out in this episode. Yeah. So I did all of this morning, and then I fell back asleep, and then I woke up and I was like, I gotta get up. We have to record in like 30 minutes. And so I was doing like the typical thing of like eat like a quick something, to kind of wake yourself up, drink some water. And I was like, tea would be nice. And then I was like, it feels weird to drink actual tea on this this episode. When last week with Liv, the tea was not really much of tea at all. So I didn't.
For you specifically.
Yeah.
Mine was also alcoholic. Mine had like a preset amount of alcohol, and it was, not a heavy-handed pour.
I think mine only tasted very strong because the tea did not have time to like actually brew.
Right.
I think that is the problem. I think it's because the tea, I had like 5 minutes and to like make the whole drink, and I was like, the tea did not brew enough. So I don't think it was as much that it was just like a lot of Tito's. I think it was just not a lot of like any other flavor.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so now that we both have water and we are good to go, maybe we should talk about our weeks in Flesh and Blood, because I think we both played in RTNs.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we did. I was gonna make some sort of joke about like non-games or whatever, but like realistically, that's a lie. Like, there were games.
What?
I played Flesh and Blood.
You did.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert before we get into this, because our last episode we predicted we were both gonna take down our RTNs. That did not happen. So, Kiki, how was your week in Flesh and Blood?
The week was good. It was fun. We did a lot of kind of in-person practice. If there's one thing I'm not too fond of, it's playing online. So if I can help it, I prefer to play in person with my local team or whatever. But yeah, so I did a road to nationals. I did end up playing Syndra, like I mentioned last week. Oh god, where are my thoughts today? Yeah, so I played Syndra. It was a fun deck. It was a unique challenge for me to try to play something so aggressively slanted. I thought it'd be kind of okay, and I thought I'd be kind of the one. I don't know what happened. I thought I'd be the one who was applying the pressure, and it was great. It'd be fine.
This is a C.
My first round.
Sorry, this is CC? Yeah, okay.
Classic Construct.
Yeah.
My first round, I came up against a KO. I'm like, okay. Confusing that this is happening. Not what I expected, but that's fine. And they had like a massive fridge of equipment, like as you do. And I was just trying to wear through the equipment with my mouse triggers and just like literally no blocking, taking the damage. And then as soon as I got through that, I was like, cool, here's my Wrath of Retribution. We're gonna go off. Proceeded to win that game, despite being down like 24-11 at some point, I think. Just because once I got rid of the equipment, it was much easier to like force through all the damage. Then I was like, cool, okay. There's like the random matchup out of the way. I'm in the winner's bracket. Now we can play like the more expected metagame decks, right? So round 2 I play against Rhino, which was again, why is this happening to me? And again, massive, huge amounts of equipment. But this time he's playing the Flesh Bag, Scowling Flesh Bag, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The Brute Legendary. And he's playing attacks with on hits. So I kind of died to this Rhino. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't really expect to win that anyway. It's not like it was anything I've been practicing against. What was round 3? Round 3 was Prism. Also, I felt so betrayed. Not really, but like, I chose not to play Prism for an event when she's like quote unquote good. Because, and like, I was like, there's not gonna be many Prisms. So I'll play Syndra, because like that's kind of like a tough matchup for Syndra, I think. Turns out there was like 5 Prisms out of 32 players. And I think 2 or 3 Syndras, 3 I think. Prism was like the most popular deck for whatever reason, or maybe it was Viserai, one of the two. But yeah, and then Prism ended up winning the event. I'm like, oh, this is like the one time I chose not to play her. But I had control in this game, and things were okay. And my opponent's like, I need to gamble here to have a chance of getting back in. I'm like, are you going to like flip Soraya, hope to draw 2 blues and play Arclight Sentinel? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay. And then proceeds to do that. And then I lose the game from that point onwards because I've lost all sorts of tempo. Then round 4 was the most fun game for me. And it was Ira versus Syndra. And it was surprisingly grindy. Like, I have never played that matchup before, but we were both doing a lot of blocking to try to deny mouse triggers, or strategically not blocking to allow mouse triggers in order to then have a bigger turn back, so on and so forth. It was a really cool grindy game. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I didn't know Syndra could grind like that, so that's odd out of context. But yeah, and then my last round ruined me, because it was Riptide, and he just triggered a trap every turn. And there wasn't much I could do about it. Yeah. But, you know, outside of going 2-3, it was fun. And one of my teammates' cousins has recently started playing the game, so it was nice kind of like watching her go through it. And this was like her first big event, and she was so excited because she also finished 2-3. And she was so stoked to just have some wins and get some experience playing the game, and it's kind of cool to see newer players kind of getting into it.
Yeah.
It was fun overall.
That's good.
I was a bit salty, but it was fun.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. Yeah, Riptide is so silly, like because he's not like a good deck, but then sometimes when I play against Riptide, it's like I just get blown out of the water. And how is this deck doing this to me? Because I know that this, he's silly, but that's what makes him fun.
Yeah. He's very metagame dependent.
Yeah. I was very proud of you because you broke your superstition, even though maybe it just reinforced your superstition even more.
Oh yeah. So, for those who aren't aware, like, I think it's come up a couple times where I don't have many fab superstitions, except for like the random one where if I do something at the start of the event and win, then I have to keep on winning. I mean, I have to keep on doing it rather, and ideally keep on winning. But like the only superstition I have is I just don't tell people my record throughout the event until I lose, because I'm like, as soon as I tell somebody I'm going to lose a game, it's just going to happen. And then I was like, you know what? No, that's fake. That's not real. That's not a real thing. Elaine, I'm 1-0. I'm so good at the game. Oh my god. And then I proceeded to lose round 2 and 3.
I was so upset because I just like get a text from Kiki and you're like, oh, I'm breaking my superstition. I'm doing it. It's a silly thing. I won my first round and I'm still gonna win out. And I was like, I'm so proud of you for breaking your superstition and for winning like round 1. Like, keep on, friend. You got this. And then just continue to get texts that you were losing. And I was like, no, I don't want to reinforce like the superstition into their head. But maybe we just... You have to do
What if
you.
it's just real?
Yeah, what if it's just real? There's no proof now that it's not real, so it's okay. I was proud of you nonetheless.
Maybe I should have done it in Armory, you know? Like something with less
Yeah, something with less stakes, maybe. Big step, though. Big step. Yeah. Is that the only RTN that you're playing in this season?
Yes.
Yeah.
So coming into the Road to National season, I think I was 27th in my country. So I should be fine in ELO. That being said, I did lose to 3 players that have fairly low ELO as far as I'm aware. Like one of them is literally under 1500, and I'm just like, dear God, please stop. Like this guy he's got the nickname in our group chat of the Elo Mosquito, I think. Or is that somebody else? I think he's the Elo Vampire. We have a mosquito and a vampire.
Oh.
And they both just like suction Elo from all of the players that have high Elo. I guess. And I hate that I have to care about Elo, but also I'm probably fine. The point of the story is I'm probably fine and still probably in Nationals. Therefore, I just don't need to play in any events right now because that would involve taking time off work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not because I don't want to, but because I want to get paid.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Getting paid is like a necessity, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but it is. Yeah. Well, that maybe not an ideal RTN experience, but still. You got out there, you tried new things, you broke your superstition, you brought Syndra to an event. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun weekend overall. And spending time with friends, of course. Now, how about you? How was your Road to Nationals experience?
Oh. Okay. It was I played in a draft RTN on Sunday, and I had kind of been like I didn't prepare at all. I drafted this set like the weekend it came out, release weekend. I went and did a draft, and I drafted Fang. I played in one pre-release for the Hunted, and I played Fang at my pre-release. I played Fang at release weekend draft, and then I was like, okay, there's 2 RTNs that I can attend. This was the first one, so it was a draft RTN, and I was like, I just like. I don't like playing online either. I especially don't like drafting online. I know people draft online. I just, I hate it. So anyway, I talked to friends about like different drafts, like trying to get an idea of like, okay, what cards are maybe important in this, like what's important in this format. But I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna go like. Do my best. I went on Saturday, actually. I went on Saturday, and I was like there to an Armory, to a draft Armory, to get like one more draft in before Sunday, and that went really poorly. Oh
no.
That went really poorly. I won one game in that draft. I went 1-2 in that draft, and I drafted Fang, and I never got to my 3 fealties in my games, and I was just like, oh no. Like, Sunday is gonna be like, tomorrow's gonna be rough because this went bad. So then I got home and I was like, let me at least like look at the card pool again, because why couldn't I get my fealties? So I did. I kind of like reworked my strategy and went on Sunday, and that was the only prep I did. I drafted Fang. There was three draft pods. I drafted Fang, and I really just got outplayed all day. Like, if I'm being honest, like, you know, people will make excuses, but I really just got outplayed because I think my deck was really good. And I drafted my seat. I was in my pot of 6, there was only 2 Fangs, and I was a Fang, and then the person that I was passing to, the person to my left, was the second Fang. So, you know, I think I drafted Fang. I don't think that was wrong because I wasn't getting signals that Fang was closed, obviously. And I think my deck was actually really good. And every single game I made 7 fealties. 7, yeah, more fealties than what do you even do with it? I mean, you could do stuff with it, like make like dice draconic for example. So I kind of like I got to do stuff like that, which was fun, and I did feel like I felt really comfortable in my games. Like, I was like, okay, for the first portion of my games, I kind of felt like I was in the driver's seat for all of them, if I'm being honest. And then it just kind of got away from me, and I just kind of got outplayed towards the end. They all came down to like 1 life, and I just couldn't get the win. So I didn't win any games that pod. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I wasn't frustrated, of course, like, I wasn't like frustrated or tilted, I would say. I just felt like so anxious because I really wanted to do well and I really wasn't doing well. And then I just because I want to queue for Nats, like I'm going to Vegas either way, I've decided, but I really want to play in nationals because I don't know, I've made it a thing. I'm like, this is my first like Flesh and Blood event back from that I won't be in school anymore, and so I really just like want to go and be able to enjoy it and do well, and so I really want to qualify for it. So I wasn't like tilted or frustrated with my games. I clearly got outplayed, and I don't know. I was going into pod 2, I was so anxious. You know when you get in the competitive mode and then it's just like my heart is beating fast, like I'm sweating, my hands are starting to shake, and all I'm doing is drafting right now. I was definitely feeling that. And pod 2, some people dropped, and so it was a 6-person pod, which was just kind of funky. It went crazy because I think like pack 1 I started picking, like I was getting cut off Fang, and so, or Fang did not feel open, and so then I started to panic because I was like, I don't know how to play Syndra, and I don't know how to play like draft Arachne, and I was like, okay, I can figure out how to draft Syndra and play Syndra, I think, quicker than I can Arachne, and so let me just start trying to build a Syndra deck. So I started going into Syndra, and then pack 2 happens, and people, I think some people pivot, so suddenly Fang is super open, and now I'm kind of feel like I'm getting like Syndra still felt open. It felt like maybe a little less open than it did the first pack, but I was like, I'm just gonna stay hard on Syndra. Now I see Fang is clearly open, but I'm not switching. Like I had a little panic already about having to play Syndra instead of Fang, and I already made the decision to play Syndra, so I'm just staying on Syndra. So I stayed on Syndra the whole draft, and I actually think my deck was pretty good. Again, out of the 6-person pods, there was 2 Syndra, and the person sitting to my left was the other Syndra again. So I think that the signals were a little bit crazy. 6-person pod is just how it goes, but I think I read them as correctly as I could have. And that draft I went 2-1. So I was feeling pretty good about that draft, but definitely not good about the day as a whole. And I left a bit frustrated. So this week I've played a ton of Flesh and Blood because I have another RTN on Saturday.
Which I guess brings us to the Gauntlet, right? Like, this is your life this week, and this is like the most Flesh and Blood hectically your life has been, as far as I've known you anyway. In terms of actually playing the game. Of course, I've had busy times in terms of like running the league or whatever, but I think this is literally the most Flesh and Blood I've known you to have played in a week.
Yeah, probably, because when I started playing the game, I was definitely playing this much Flesh and Blood, but that was before Pitch Perfect existed, really. So yeah. That's a true statement.
And I guess it's like not just the playing the games, but it's the intent behind it, right? Like, you're currently a woman on a mission right now to like qualify for nationals.
Yeah.
And like, do you want to should we just talk about how your Gauntlet is going, what it's about, what's happening? Because this is all going to go out after Road to Nationals anyway, right?
It would be so embarrassing this goes out after Road to Nationals, and I'm like, yeah, so at the second RTN I lost every single game, which could happen, who knows, because Viscera is gone, and so this new meta, listen, we've said it many times on this podcast, and we literally just talked about how this is the most Flesh and Blood I've played, just in the way that I'm playing it this week that I have been since you met me. So I'm not someone who really claims to be a good player, predicts the meta or anything. But with Viserai Goat, well, that's something that happened this week. Viserai left. Goodbye, Purple Man.
Oh yeah.
Kind of nostalgic about it, actually. Kind of a little sad about it. But anyway, I think the meta feels really, really aggro. The deck that I've been playing is an aggro deck, and it just feels like, I don't know. I keep being like, I could still just like lose because these aggro decks, like sometimes you just get high rolled, and that's happened quite a bit. But then sometimes you just high roll, and also even with the high rolls, like I've just been trying to learn really intimately the matchups that I think are going to be big in the meta this weekend, because I think that matchup knowledge goes a lot into a format like this. Because you can get high rolled, or it could just come down to matchup knowledge. Truly. Yeah, I got home on Sunday after my RTN, and I was like, okay, I have one more opportunity to qualify for nationals. If I don't qualify, that's fine. I'll just go to Vegas and be a calling gamer, and I can prep for the calling post graduation. But I would like to qualify if I can. So I Sunday night, I was like, I don't have a ton of homework this week. I can work ahead and probably knock it all out if I sit down and just for like 3 to 4 hours really focus. And so I did that so that I can play as much Flesh and Blood as possible this week, and I have been doing that. Like I said, I didn't go to bed till 4 a.m. last night because I was playing Flesh and Blood. I've just like gotten home, got on my computer, played Fab, and then it's like, okay, it's midnight. I have to be up at 6:30 for work, so I'm logging off, and I don't work on the days that we record today, just coincidentally. That's why I stayed up till 4 a.m. But every other night it's been like, okay, at midnight I'm logging off. I'm gonna like take a shower, get in bed, go to sleep, wake up, leave at 6:30, get home at 8:30, get back on, play more Flesh and Blood. And I've kind of just been putting myself through the gauntlet. I've just been making my friends play, like really just kind of beat me up with their decks. Yeah, like back-to-back games, trying to learn. Because I'm not on Kasai either. I've switched off Kasai for the first time since Heavy Hitters came out.
And how's that making you feel? Not to sound like a cliche therapist, but I mean, like, you've been known as this warrior player for so long, and obviously there's multiple warriors, including Fang now, that you could play as, but you've picked up a different blade.
Yeah, I've been playing around with Aurora. It's really making. I'll be honest. Like I played it and I was like, okay, the deck is fun. I played it. I picked up the deck after we had Ellie on, and Ellie on that podcast was like, oh yeah, try Aurora. So I picked up the deck and I was like, oh, Aurora's fun. Like, this deck feels good. This deck feels fun. It wasn't until like the past week that I'm like, this is clicking. This is clicking how Briar used to click for me. Like, it's making me really miss Briar. You could just do crazy things. I love being able to present like over 30 damage in one turn. Turns out really good.
It's kind of strong.
Yeah, it's kind of strong.
Like, yeah, that's a lot. My main hero only has 32, so, you know, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Prism matchup is kind of rough, but I have played games into Prism, and yeah, when I can do that much damage in one turn is when I win the game. If I can't, it's a little rough.
Yeah. Both decks aren't known for their blocking prowess, so if one person starts kind of getting ahead, then it's kind of hard to defend back into the game and grind out, because you have 2 blocks, I have no blocks, so on and so forth, you know?
Yeah.
So, what's your gauntlet been like so far? What have you put yourself through?
I've put myself through a lot of Syndra, which Syndra's been. I don't know. I feel like all the matchups, like. So I put myself through Syndra. I've put myself through Arachnes, Slippy. I guess more specifically, Prism. Well, used to be Viserai, but no longer concerned about that. Vincent. Yeah. And I think maybe I've just kind of been focusing on like a different hero every day. So it's only Wednesday. I think that is the ones that I've done every day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. No, it's been fun. I feel like I've learned like a ton, not even just about my deck, but I've just been like studying these other heroes to try and figure out like, okay, what on hits am I actually concerned about in this matchup? Like doing things that I think most people do if they want to play competitively.
Yeah. A very foreign concept.
A very foreign concept at Pitch Perfect.
The Pitch Perfect pod. Yeah. I made the joke earlier in the week. I'm like, am I going to not be the competitive player, quote unquote, in the podcast now? Because, like, I've kind of stopped preparing for any sort of events whatsoever in terms of being competitive. Like, it's just not really my thing anymore. Like, as long as I can stay kind of naturally qualified for nationals, I'm kind of good. I'm fine. I'm chill. You know, I'll lose some elo here, I'll gain some elo here. It's fine kind of thing. But you are now the one who's, like, actively trying to make the push and get there, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
And, of course, with this kind of, like, idea of this push that you're kind of making, we've kind of been, like, thinking about other things we can kind of do as an entity, a brand, as a podcast. So, you know, keep an eye out as we kind of look for more kind of gameplay opportunities to kind of grow, not just as like a channel, but also as players, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And just for a bit of variety, realistically. But
we switch it out. I feel like the channel has like a sense of variety right now because only in the sense that every other week you and I come on here and just basically record our phone call.
Yeah.
No plans, no show notes. Like, we don't even talk about really what we're going to talk about before we jump on. We just know that we're jumping on and we're going to talk for an hour.
Yeah.
That's literally how it goes down. Then the next week we have more of a structured episode that we plan with a guest, and so the channel has variety in that sense. Honestly, I don't know if people like that or not, but it kind of takes some of the stress out of being a content creator. I would say that every other week it's like, oh, we're just gonna chill this week, and the next week we'll get back on it, type of deal.
We definitely get like half the viewers for like these episodes compared to like our guest ones, and you know what, that's okay. To those 40 to 60 people that watch this, we love that you do.
We love that you do.
You know?
We love you. And everyone has different vibes. I feel like when we record on days like today, it's just kind of like cozy, especially when I'm editing it and it has like the nice background music. I'm just like, it's kind of cozy. Yeah, it's just kind of relaxing. But we want to bring more diversity in content to the channel this coming, just like this year. And so we have some ideas. We're not gonna like spoil them because sometimes stuff happens and we don't get to do them. But keep an eye out. Keep an eye out, because in some way, some shape or form, what we have planned will come to fruition. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brain just cut out. I was gonna say, like, it is really interesting trying to transition back into like a competitive mindset of Flesh and Blood, because I've been on, like, I had such a casual mindset around the game for so long. So it's kind of interesting. I feel like since I have moved into the casual side, I've been saying like one day I'll get back to playing competitively. And I've been saying that because that is truly what I've wanted to do, but it's kind of felt like the opportunity will like never come, and it would and now that like graduation is getting closer, and I'm kind of getting to a point in my studies where it's like, okay, I can like grind ahead like in school this week so that I can play more Flesh and Blood. It's got like, it's just got me itching to keep playing and get more competitive, which I think is both really fun and a bit scary.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's basically just a whole new stage of life for you, like, if you think about it, right? Like, just beyond the Flesh and Blood stuff. I know it's wild to think that maybe the stuff beyond Flesh and Blood, especially with how much time we commit to this game and its whole entity. But like, this is kind of like a new stage of life almost, right? Like, your priorities are going to be shifting, your time's going to be shifting.
Yeah.
And you're just now going to have more time to play Flesh and Blood, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Not being in class until 8 p.m. is going to be like truly a game changer. And just like the way I have to live my life. Like, wow, like if I don't have class until 8 p.m., I could actually go to Armories on a weeknight, or I could like spend more time testing, or I could just like come home and like make dinner and like watch a movie. I don't know the last time I was able to like sit down and watch like a movie on a weeknight, on a night that wasn't a Saturday or a Friday. I don't know. It's definitely a new change of life. It's like very exciting. That probably plays into some of it being like really exciting and scary at the same time, because also as exciting as like changing your schedule, moving into a new phase of life is, it's still scary. It's still scary to have such big life changes happening, but I'm really excited, and it feels kind of silly that I'm itching to graduate to go play Flesh and Blood. I'm itching to graduate for like a million other reasons as well, but this week at least that has felt like the main one. And I've also decided, I think maybe I've said it before, I've decided like US Knacks is like, I'm also treating it as like a graduation trip, at least mentally. I don't know if I'll go for like more than, I don't know if I mean that in the sense that it'll be a week-long trip. Maybe it will be. But I mean that in the sense of like mentally, I'm like, okay, this is where I want to spend my money to like kind of celebrate my graduation for myself. Like, everyone celebrates events in their own way, and I'm like, I just want to go play Flesh and Blood without having to do homework. Like I've traveled. Last year when I went to Hartford, I had to like take a meeting in the middle of the calling and like write 2 papers, and then in Tampa I was like doing homework at the Airbnb and on the plane and in the airport. And same with Japan. I had to wake up at like 3 a.m. to take a test when I was in Japan. And so I'm just like, wow, I can go to a Flesh and Blood event and just hang out with my friends and play Fab and not have like these other things I'm gonna have to focus my energy to this weekend. And that's just how I want to celebrate. And also by doing well in the calling or in nationals. And I don't really know how much I care about my record even this weekend. Like, as long as I feel like I prepared well and played well and like sat down and felt confident in my game plan going into this each matchup, I'll be proud.
Yeah. Ideally it'd be nice if you top 4, but either way, like, you're kind of going through this experience right now, right? This whole grinding for a week, putting yourself through a boot camp kind of situation, which you haven't really had time to do. So, like, just enjoy the process, right? I guess. Like, how often do you do this?
Yeah.
If you're a professional, probably a lot. But if you're, if you have things in your life that aren't just flesh and blood, then this is like a rare experience, I guess.
Yeah, no, it really that is really true. Like, even we talk about like playing this game competitively, and there are a lot of people who probably do grind like this on the weekly, but the majority of Flesh and Blood players definitely don't. So it is an experience for that. Yeah, I'm going through, but like anyone probably would be going through. It's fun. Yeah, when you put it like that, it's like, if it, I don't know, it sounds so wholesome, like a privilege to experience.
It kind of is, right? Like, it's not a normal thing to be so heavily invested into one hobby that you're spending an entire week, like 4 to 6 hours a day purely thinking about it as a hobby whilst living your normal life. So there is an element of privilege. Also, it's not like the game is cheap or anything,
No.
I mean, if you're playing online, that's kind of free to an extent. But either way, like, it is something that's like uniquely in the trading card game space, or like in some hobby spaces. Like, if your hobby is mountain biking, you are not mountain biking like 4 to 6 hours a day. I should hope.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know much about biking. I don't know enough about mountain biking.
I was just
Dude, you're playing.
Do you know?
But I don't know. I truly don't know if that's a true statement or not.
It might not be. I don't know. Let us know your mountain biking stories down below. But yeah, now, like, there is a certain privilege, and also, like, you need to, in the case of what you're doing here, is you have specific friends who can help you and have time to help you and so on and so forth, which is a wholesome kind of privilege in itself, right?
Yeah, no, that definitely is a wholesome kind of privilege in itself, to just like have a community who, when you say like, okay everyone, I'm ready to grind, let's all, like, please, if you are willing to play some games with me, like, let's play, let's talk about all of this, and please help me improve, really is what I'm asking of these people. And it does feel just like special, and it reconnects you with not only the game but the community so much.
And if you do well, you already have your list of people you can start thanking. Also, is that like a pickle on your shoulder or something?
Oh yeah.
Was that always there, or did that just come on like halfway through the episode?
He just joined.
Oh, okay. Cool. I was like, am I imagining it?
He sits like on my bedside table, right? My bed is like 2 feet from me. I live in a little 1-bedroom apartment. It's not that big. So my bed's like right here, and he just sits on my bedside table. Isn't he so cute?
He's so adorable. That smile is almost vacant, but like slightly present.
Yeah.
It's so cute though. Yeah, I was like, as you're talking, I'm like, pickle?
Well, I fidget. Like, I don't know if you've ever noticed, maybe people have noticed, like, I'm always, maybe you can't tell actually, I'm always fidgeting with something on my desk, something. Like, I just am tearing up a piece of paper the whole time I'm talking, or I have to have something to fidget with.
I think I've cleaned my keyboard, like, whilst we were recording.
Yeah. They're just like always doing, like, my hands have to be doing something while I'm talking. And I used to have a stress pickle. I still have it. It's not here with me anymore. My old desk at my old house, I had like a stress pickle, and so I would just like twist and like play with the stress little pickle. I don't have that pickle anymore, but I do have this pickle that I play with while we record. Okay. For our audio listeners, it is a stuffed animal pickle with a spile on it. It has tiny little legs.
This is your sword story all over again.
Oh yeah, that my giant sword.
Yeah, your giant bedside sword.
My giant bedside sword, yeah. I don't have my bedside sword here either. I
realized that wasn't even a podcast episode. That was a commentated game in the first season.
Yeah, maybe we should.
The Rainbow Pitch League.
If you didn't watch that game in the Rainbow Pitch League, it was me, you, and Melody. We, all three of us did the commentary for the finals of the first Rainbow Pitch League together, which was such a fun time. I'm not sure how much we talked about the game, in like a way that was helpful for listeners, but we had a ton of fun. I don't know why the subject came up that I sleep with a giant sword on the side of my bed.
Yeah, I don't know how it came up. Maybe about weapons or something, considering we are technically watching a game of Flesh and Blood at the time.
Yeah, maybe I was talking about how I'm a warrior player at heart or something. I don't fully remember, but I do remember that I was like, yeah, I have this sword that I sleep with this sword, and and then some jokes happened, as they do, and I was like, no. So then I had to get it and show it on camera, yeah. Like, although we were watching a game, so the listeners could not hear the sword, but you and Melody could see this giant medieval sword that I slept with. I think I gave it to my brother when I moved.
Not really a New York aesthetic kind of thing.
Well, I think it was more just like, oh, I'm moving here with 4 suitcases on a plane. It's like, this sword is not gonna fit in here, and also I don't need it. It was just something I found on the side of the road. And so I obviously took it home and used it as my bedside sword.
Some people have plushies. Some people have body pillows. Elaine had a sword. Just to snuggle up at night.
Yeah. If you're driving down the road... See, I was like driving down the street, and I remember there was something like in the grass blinding me, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I pulled over, and there was just this big sword on the side of the road in the grass, and I was like, well, that's coming home with me, I think.
I love how you still question. It's like, yeah, maybe.
Like, I don't know why. I was like, I need that. I guess it's just sitting here, so I'm just gonna take it. And I did, and I was like, this will just be my bedside sword for protection. What would you do with the sword you found on the side of the road?
Probably leave it. But maybe I'm just less adventurous than you, you know? I don't have the same connection to sort of medieval fare, I guess, you know?
That's true. I do love medieval fare.
You do. Yeah, I said that, I'm like, is that even a phrase, an expression? I'm just gonna pretend like it is. I'm just gonna move on with it and just
No, I'm like, the Renaissance Festival, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm like, I've gone to this event every day since every day.
Every day?
That would be an obsession.
How do you have time for this and Flesh and Blood? Holy shit.
Yeah, I play Flesh and Blood, I go to the gym, I go to work, and I go to class, and I go to the Renaissance Festival every day. No,
your pickle.
No, I could not fit the Renaissance Festival into that. Yeah, no, you said medieval fair, and I was like, what was the name of that event that I go to every year since childhood?
Oh, see, like, I wasn't meaning fair as in, like, a Renaissance fair. I think I was meaning a different one.
Please, what is...
I feel like I'm using it colloquially. Is the other thing, though.
I just don't know if I have a Renaissance fair obsession in a colloquial sense. Do I?
I was just trying to say that you like medieval things.
I guess I do.
But anyway.
I don't know if I do more than the average person. I've never thought about it. And now I'm like, is this part of my identity?
Well, I think considering that you decided to pick up a roadside sword, and I don't think most people consider to pick up. Part of it is also I feel like I wouldn't want to steal it from someone. I feel like I'd be getting in trouble.
No, I should clarify. It wasn't like a Like it definitely was not stolen.
No.
No, because it was like there was like where I used to live, there was always one place where people used to just go dump stuff on the side of the road. It was in that area where people like dump stuff. So I thought it was, when I was getting blinded by it, I was like, oh, like maybe it's a cute mirror. Like, what is that in the dump area? And I was like, a big sword. Let me take it home. So it wasn't, it was like dumped. It was dumped.
Right. It wasn't lost. It was.
Yeah, it was thrown out.
You've adopted a stray sword.
I adopted a stray sword. But also, I don't think that's weird. Like, I don't know that. I always have taken home weird things if no one wants them. Like, do you remember back in my childhood? I don't really.
Do I remember back in your childhood? I'm old, but I haven't known you for that long.
No. Bear with me.
Okay.
They don't really do this anymore, but like back when new movies used to come out, they would like Burger King and McDonald's and like chain places would put out. I just hit myself. Would put like those big like window stickers for like new movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like people used to just be a lot more into movie premieres coming out, like chain restaurants, I guess, mainly fast food ones from my memory, but also like Best Buy and the movie theater would put up those big posters. Like that stuff has to be thrown away. And so when I was younger, like my family and I would we would drive around to all of our McDonald's and Burger Kings and Blockbuster, when that was alive, they would do kind of the same thing. And we'd drive around and go to the movie theaters, go to Burger King, go to McDonald's, go to Blockbuster, and then be like, can we have that? Because the hype of the movie's kind of over and we know you're just going to take it down and throw it away. And they'd be like, sure, you can have it. And so we had all kinds, like I had a big Chewbacca, like life-size Chewbacca that I took from Burger King that was like a window sticker, but I just put it on my door. I had Chewbacca, I had Darth Vader, I had Yoda, like I had all the Star Wars like life-size window stickers that I got from like Burger King and McDonald's and Blockbuster. I feel like that's the same mindset of like, oh, I'm just gonna go there's a sword, why wouldn't I want it? That's a cool thing. That was maybe a bit of a rant to like defend my train of thought.
The funny thing is, right, is that I didn't necessarily question you picking it up. I think the question was just like, wouldn't you do it? I'd be like, no, I personally wouldn't pick up a sword from the street. But
now I'm thinking about all the weird things I've just kind of like taken or asked for.
I mean, you're not the only one who does it. Like, I don't think it's necessarily an every person thing to do so. But, like, there's definitely people that, like, rock up to my work, for example. They'd be like, hey, those magic posters are really cool. What do you do with them after, like, it's no longer the season? I'm like, well, just stay up there, my friend. Some of those are, like, 3 years old now. Or people ask me about the Flesh and Blood poster kind of things. Like, do you remember how Liv has, like, all those Flesh and Blood posters in the back of her thing? Like, people ask me for those kind of stuff. Like, what do you do with those once that season's passed? And I'm like, I don't think we're actually allowed to give them away, but I'm not too too sure. I can't remember. There's a period of time where like Flesh and Blood marketing materials were iffy about what you could and couldn't do with them, and we've always erred on the side of caution.
Yeah.
But I think things might have changed a little bit. I don't know, because obviously Liv has them and other people have them as well as their backdrops for whatever they want.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
But
maybe I'm not strange. Maybe I do take it to an
strange.
extreme. Like I like that one time I took those juggler's pants like straight from him. Like I don't know. Maybe now I'm like,
you might go a little bit farther than the average person who loves to collect random knickknacks, but that's okay.
I just have an eye for knickknacks. What can I say? Sometimes it's a sword, sometimes it's a Chewbacca window sticker, sometimes it's someone else's pants. I just have an eye. For knickknacks.
You have an eye for somebody else's pants?
No. Well, if they're really cool pants.
I guess.
Sometimes. Knickknacks.
Knickknacks, pants. They're kind of the same thing.
Kind of the same. No, it's like collectible items. I wouldn't take. I wouldn't take anyone. Anyone's pants. Like I would not like walk up to you and be like, I really like those pants, Kiki, can I buy them? I wouldn't do that.
Why? What's wrong with my pants?
They're your pants, and you probably just like bought them from the store, I would assume.
Yeah, they're not. I am not that eccentric when it comes to my aesthetic.
Yeah, but when you're at the Renaissance Festival and you see someone with really cool stuff and you're like, hey, I really like those pants, where'd you get them? And they're like, I had them custom made. I'm like, oh, I really like them. Can I have them when you're done with them? Sometimes they say, yeah, give me your address, I'll mail them to you when I don't need them anymore. And then you get really cool custom pants. It's like a collectible. It's like a knickknack.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say no. That's cool. I've only actually, I have a 100% success rate on this, I should say. I've only ever asked for someone's pants one time. They did mail them to me when they were done with them.
I feel like most people would say no, to be honest. Like, I think you just, with your charm and riz, struck gold on the first try.
I would say no too, because when that person asked for the pants back, I did say no.
They offer the pants back.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, actually, they're my pants
now.
They're in my knickknack shrine, also known as my wardrobe.
Yeah, I had the pants 10 years, to be fair. That's a long time to ask someone for their pants back.
That's such a weird sentence, out of context. Yeah, I guess so. Like, they're firmly yours now. Were you just like, I paid with them, I'm sorry?
No.
You don't want them back.
They're old pants. Like, I was just kind of like, I don't think you want them back. Actually, I did actually straight up say no. And then I was like, whoa, who am I to say no to? This is this person's custom pants. I didn't even give them money for them. They just sent them to me. I did offer to give them money for them, and they declined. So I just got the pants in the mail. I was also 13 when I took this person's pants. My parents were a little like, why did you get a package of these custom juggler pants? How much money did you spend on these, Elaine? And I was like, I had none.
But I offered. Yeah.
So then like 10 years later, I run into this person again. They're like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the girl who has your pants. And they're like, oh my gosh, I really need those back. And I'm like, you can't have them back. Like, I keep them in the trunk of my car. I feel kind of attached to them. And they're like, they're in the trunk of your car right now? And I'm like, no. Yeah, well, yes, they are, but you can't have them. And so then I'm like, well, you know what? Like, maybe they're like, can I like rent the pants back from you? And I'm like, I'm not gonna make you pay for your own pants, even though they're my pants now. But, so if you need the pants, like, we could come up with like a traveling pants situation. So they ended up the waistband is kind of dry rotted, you know how elastic gets after a long time. And also this person signed the pants, and so they were like, oh, when I showed them the state of the pants currently, they were like, is it weird to wear pants with my own name on them? And I'm like, I'd wear pants with my own name on them, but like, maybe
Wrestlers do it all the time.
yeah. Anyway, then they decided they didn't want to wear pants with their own name on them. So that's not, I did say no, but I came around and I still ended up with the pants.
That's incidentally probably the title of this episode.
I don't even,
not that specifically, but like the reference.
I don't know how we got on this topic.
Your sword.
Oh.
Which was a byproduct, which came off rather your
Pickle
pillow. Pickle plushie on your head right
plushie.
now. It sits so nicely.
Yeah, it like
nice.
fits perfectly between the little ears of the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any very cool knick-knack stories?
Do I have cool knick-knack stories? Do I? I don't think I knick-knack too much, realistically. Like, I have trading cards. I mean, I have like, I'm looking at like 30 pop vinyls. Not pop vinyl. What is that what they call it? I can't remember anymore. It's been so long since I've actually collected
The
them.
pop,
But the little
Funko Pops?
Yeah.
Is it a Funko Pop? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's the one. I have, I think, 30 something.
Wow.
I've lost count. I haven't collected them for like half a decade, but I still have them. What knickknacks do I have? I have my partner's sleeping bag. Does that count as a knickknack?
If pants count, I think the...
Oh! I have this little Udemo from Stardew Valley.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
So this is was like a little gift from my partner's sister and brother-in-law, because we all have a Stardew Valley farm together with the four of us, so we each have a different season Junimo.
Oh my goodness, that's really cute. That's very
Yeah,
cute.
but
That's really
kinda
wholesome.
Yeah, that's the end of the story though. Like, there's no juggler asking for their pants back. It's just kind of little peach looking thing. And mine's winking. And I can't show you the other three because they don't exist in my city. Or rather, yeah, they live with their respective owners. I have this row of ducks.
Oh my gosh. Wait. How are they connected? Are they glued on top of each other?
They're hangers. And they just kind of clip on. It's just a row of lids, functionally, with highlighters on them. Did I tell you about this?
You have an eye for knickknacks too, Kiki! This is so great!
So this, in particular, was a birthday gift, funnily enough. And I received it when I was doing commentary for Thai Happy. Except it was wrapped in like pink paper. Oh. And my friend's like, here's your birthday gift. I gave it to you late. I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, should I open it on stream? And then he hands me this. Now, if you look at this,
yeah,
and you imagine you can't see specifically what it is, but your friend hands it to you. And I'm just like, actually, I don't know if I should open this on stream. I don't know why you're giving me this gift, but okay. Thank you. And then, because it wasn't the most official event and the most formal event, I got a little bit drunk on stream.
Right.
Like, while doing commentary, I'm like, you know what? I am just going to open the gift. And then that was feeling really risque. Because if it was what I thought it was, like I'd just be holding some beads in my hand, and not like the Mardi Gras kind, you know, like. So I don't know what came over me to just be like, yeah, I'll open this on camera. But then I saw this and I got really emotional because all these little ducks were just staring at me.
So cute. No, that's so. If I was drunk, that's so valid to get so emotional over. I'd probably cry. It's so cute.
That is.
Wow.
And I've yet to use them, but I just keep them as a display on my computer desk.
Wow, I literally love it. I'm obsessed. How cute. What a good gift.
All my knickknacks are gifts. I have this little owl thing that my friend, oh, the camera's down here, she baked it for me.
It's like clay?
Made it for me. Yeah.
Oh.
And like there's like a little flower crown that isn't attached, so I just have to hold it, I guess. And in theory I'm supposed to paint this at some point, but I don't have the time or the skills to do so, so I just keep them grey for now.
It's kind of cute.
And I also have this, which is a little
crocheted, or is it felt?
Felt, like it was felted.
Yeah.
But for those keenly aware, it's also the colors of the non-binary flag. So it's the NB.
It's so cute.
Yeah, those are my knick-knack things. Does this count as a knick-knack? This is a gold foil.
Wow, that's a knick-knack. That is a knick-knack.
I just like picked this up at an event. You know, I was just playing Flesh and Blood, and they're like, "Here you go, congratulations on second place. Have a gold foil." Yeah, does that count as picking up a knick-knack?
Yeah, you have an eye for knickknacks. That includes gold foils.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cute. I have a ton of knickknacks, but they're like all over my house. They're not really on my desk. Like, I have like a little Care Bear and a teardrop over there, and like a little Monster Inc. thing, and then I have a bunch of Sanrio stuff in there. And then my living room, I just have like a bunch of stuff. I love Kirby too. I have like little Kirby's all around my house. I just have little like, oh, this is on like, all my wires have like little, this like goes on wires, you know. So like all of my chargers and wires have like little characters on them. This one's my Melody from Sanrio, but I just have like little Itadori, like I have, you know, little Cinema Roll, like Karomi and other Sanrio characters, and I just love little things that are so cute. There's nothing better.
Usually I have like Quagsire and Clodsire behind me. They're just usually in the corner of that pillow. Just in the video. Just every time we record, I always put them in a different position, and today I just didn't. I was gonna say for whatever reason. The reason is I literally woke up, and then I was like, I need to shave before I go on camera, and then that's all the time I have. But normally they're there, and they're play fighting or something, I don't know.
It's so cute. Yeah.
I've gotten into the habit. I haven't been a plushies person in terms of like going to sleep with them for a very long time. And by very long time, I mean literally a kid. But for whatever reason at the moment, I find a lot of comfort in hugging my Clodsire.
My plushies get like so used that they get busted up, and then I have to like retire them and replace them with a new plushie. Like I just like, it takes me a while to like retire them, but I still have them. When I say retire them, I mean I sew them back up and then put them on my shelf, and they get like replaced by a fresh plushie that needs love. But I can't sleep without my plushie. Like if I go somewhere I don't bring my plushie, I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. But I'm just a little sad. Yeah. It is just, I feel like most of the time I'm not like a person who like holds them. I just like use them as pillows though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So really, if you just had a pillow and you pretended like it was a character of some description.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
Like, I probably could just, like, bring my pillow with me. Like, you know, because I know a lot of people, like, travel with their pillows. I feel like it's kind of the same thing. It's a plushie, not a pillow. Like, I don't think I need my pillow. I just need my plushie and I'll be fine. But I do sleep on top of my plushie. Yeah.
But, you know, it's just also giving you a little emotional support as well as physical neck support.
Yeah. It's probably, like, smells and stuff, too. Isn't that, like, why people, like, get attached to, like, I don't know, blankets and plushies and stuff?
There's a lot of reasons to get attached to something, I guess.
If you're, like, outside of your home and you're, like, sleeping and you have something that, like, smells like your home, I feel like maybe it makes it easier to... That's not a conscious reason I sleep with my plushies. I just, like, subconsciously, that might be part of it.
It's a little bit of comfort away from home.
Yeah.
Whether it be the smell or the texture or even just the sight of it being there, knowing that you're always connected to your place of being. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go cutesy or, like, I don't know.
It's so cute too. I love traveling with plushies because it's like, oh, he's just like I have this.
It's a travel buddy.
Yeah, my current plushie is like Todd, also Jeff, also Henry. Yeah, I really just call him a lot of names. I
like how all of them are just like normal human names.
To me, he just seems like he could be like a character in The Office. So like any like name that fits like that vibe is what I call him. I don't know why he gives that kind of energy to me, but he does. But like taking him, I look so insane right now. I just like saw my own camera, like taking him like on an airplane with me. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just like a little guy going on a little adventure. Like he's also going on a plane just like I am, and I don't know why that just makes me emotional.
It looks like he's also just asking for uppies, you know?
Yeah.
Just perpetually wants uppies.
He has a hole in him. I need to patch him up. He has like a little tail. He's very long. He's a long boy.
I didn't expect that. Like the way you're holding him, I'm like, oh, his legs are just off the camera. No, his legs are very off the camera.
No, his whole body. It's like...
Is that supposed to be like a belly button or something?
I guess so. I think it's a belly button.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's very long, which makes it, I feel like, nice to cuddle like this, but I just like sleep with him like a neck pillow, you know?
Oh, there you go. I mean, that kind of makes him perfect for traveling.
Yeah. Jeff, Henry, Todd, Harry, like Michael, he's just a good travel companion.
It just sounds like you're naming some sort of like royalty person, you know? Jeff, Henry, Thomas, Michael the Third.
Those people, yeah, it just has like 5 first names. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like we've just gotten so off topic, but as happens.
This is the vibes episode, you know? This is what happens when we're left with no structure. We started off really strong with it. We're going to talk about flesh and blood. We have this things, and then we just remembered who we are, and now we're talking about knickknacks, pickles, and swords.
This is how every week is just kind of like you're just kind of peering into Kiki and I's daily friendship. Actually, like I said, we basically just come on here and record our normal phone call. Yeah.
Under like the guise of being a flesh and blood podcast.
Under the guise, yeah. Well, every other week.
Yeah. Okay, well, this was fun. I enjoyed just chatting, and yeah, it was good. It looks like he's waving at me.
Yeah. I'm like, there actually was like another flesh and blood thing that I wanted to talk about, but I think we ran out of time. So it's okay.
You have 3 minutes if you remember what it is. We can quickly blitz it out.
Oh, I'm excited about the Aurora Blitz deck because we got some
Oh,
spoilers
it's the
about that.
Armory deck.
Yeah, not Blitz, yeah, Armory deck.
Are the spoilers available in English anywhere?
They opened, it got like opened yesterday, I believe. I woke up and I saw these new cards. Oh, look. Yep, here it is. I'm getting the spoiler links. This is live, actually. This text came through 19 minutes ago. This notification.
Like the video I saw was in French. Oh, I mean the cards I saw were in French. I just wonder if someone's translated it.
No, it's like on cards.fabtcg, like the...
Oh.
Yeah, like... Oh, my camera. You can like look at the card gallery.
There you go. People can see our live reaction to this thing. Cap of quick thinking.
I don't think
destroy this.
I don't think there's anything in here that's like super crazy powerful. I do like initial reactions. I think some of these cards will definitely like see some play and could be really good. Like this is a blue 3-block lightning card.
What?
Written in the stars, create an embodiment of lightning token. If you've dealt arcane damage this turn, draw a card. So like,
oh,
I guess if you've
it doesn't have go again.
Yeah.
Well, you can play this after the arc lightning.
Right.
You have the arc lightning this, right? So it's just draw a card.
If
assuming the arc lightning deals arcane damage.
I'll say if the arc lightning deals arcane damage, yeah, this.
Then you just carry on. Wait, no, embodiment is the starter. No, it's not the starter.
No, embodiment of lightning just pops on your
you
next attack action card.
Attack action card, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe there's a home for this. It's not bad. It's a blue 3-block, like you mentioned.
It's a blue 3-block.
Yeah, the art is pretty.
There's
It's making me think of that Tiny Tempo song or whatever it is.
Skyward Serenade is a yellow 2-block. It's a new majestic. Choose 2, create an embodiment of lightning. Search your deck for a Skizzix. Banish it.
Skizzix, I guess, yeah. You're right.
Shuffle, and you can play it this turn, and your next attack gets +1 go again. So then, a Skizzix. This is like a week late, so everyone will have already known these cards by the time they're listening to this, but we're just seeing them for the first time.
I think Skizzix and Skyward Serenade were spoiled a while ago.
When they got spoiled, I think, with the Armory.
Yeah.
If it has go again +1. Yeah. Maybe the blue 3-block. The equipment's kind of interesting, but without actually testing it, I don't really know.
I'm just looking at this equipment, and I feel like there's better in every slot.
Yeah. I think I agree with that.
But it's fine. This is like an army deck. It's like a good base, and like you can't always get legendaries for everyone.
It's a really good base.
Also, the the shock frock is very pretty.
Shock frock. I really like that alliteration. Oh, it's not alliteration, just rhymes. Whoa. I want this dress. I want to own this dress. I would cosplay this, but I don't know that I can make this dress. Wow. It's very pretty.
It's very Final Fantasy-esque. Almost. I'm thinking of a very specific character.
I like it. There's nothing like sash level in here, but...
No.
Yeah.
Sash is cracked.
So good.
To be fair.
So good.
I mean, like, the Starlight Striders is, like, fine. If you don't want to buy a legendary.
Right, if you don't want greaves.
Yeah.
It's also
Like-
blade, like these are all blade break.
Yeah. Except for the shock frock. Ooh. But
Oh yeah.
the shock frock is literally just gain 1 resource. It's a one-off tunic.
It's a one of, yeah. I guess if maybe it's not super bad if you're trying to like just kill someone before you get to your 3rd tunic. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like needed.
It's not a fair comparison, but comparing it to like the blood-soaked, whatchamacallit, the ninja assassin one, which is 3 tunics. Yeah, it's not quite the same, but it's definitely powerful enough for an armory deck.
Yeah. No, this looks like a solid armory deck. I will probably pick one up because I want to have it. But yeah.
I'll also probably consider it, but we'll see. Might pick it up for a friend, who knows.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like picking up pre-made decks.
And knickknacks.
And knickknacks. Or pre-made decks, knickknacks. Leave your thoughts below. But thanks for joining us for this kind of chaotic episode. Kiki, where can the people find you?
So if you want to find me on socials, you can find me at Bluesky at kikibird.bsky.social. That reminds me, you had my Twitter account on the last one, on the last episode.
It's okay. I mean,
because you can still find me on Twitter technically. You know, I did post on there for the first time in like weeks. In which you can find me at Kiki_LA93.
Yeah. We're just going to have our blue skies from now on since I made new presets. Because that was the problem when I made the old presets. They have, like, my name is the same, but sometimes I forget to change yours because the preset was created when we were still on Twitter. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
sorry
at
about that.
kikibird.bsky.social. That's okay. That's fine. I'm not chill. I got a like by James White on Twitter today.
Wow.
So, yeah. That's where you can find my Flesh and Blood socials. What about you, Elaine? Don't give out your email this time.
Yeah. You can find me on Flesh and Blood socials, Twitter and BSky at ehamontree. Ham on tree, like bacon on bush or pork on shrubbery. The sun has decided to come out all of a sudden.
I was going to say, it's suddenly very bright.
Yeah, suddenly I'm just like being blinded.
Maybe it's a sign. It's the dawn of a new day. And by dawn, I mean it's like 4 p.m. for you.
4 p.m.
Yeah. Okay, well, with that being said, thank you for joining us on this wild, wonderful ride of just Elaine and I hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do have any listener questions and you've made it this far, feel free to just ask to us, and we'll answer it at some point. But until then, on behalf of us, goodbye.
Bye.